want.
What's up, YouTube? FatKingsPhil coming at you for my year 3 update from vertical sleeve gastrectomy, which I had back in July of 2013. Details are below, as usual. I'm going to have some extra stuff at the end of this video. I'm trying not to keep this very long, actually. I mean, we'll give you some thoughts about year 3, but yeah, so let's get to the numbers straight off. So new change of plans for year 3, or going in toward year 4. I'm going to be using my scale for weight, and the only time I will ever, and I'll update that every time I update my my video, so you'll have the current weight the day of the video shot. But as far as body fat goes, I'm only going to update that once every 4 weeks when I go see the nutritionist, and that way you get a more current weight update, but the body fat will really be only relevant to when I go to the nutritionist, and I'll tend to point that out. So that'll be that. So so let's talk about, as of Saturday morning, which is the official year 3 date, the 16th of July, I was 262.2, and as of the last body fat, which was last week, I was 12.5% body fat. So that's huge. So let's compare that to year 2. On the day of year 2, I was 214 pounds, rather. I don't remember the points. And I was 19.6% body fat. Asterisk. So that was a different body fat measuring machine at the time. So I'm not going to equate the 12.5 to the 19.6. But even using the more current one, I'm way ahead of the curve. I'm still at my lowest body fat I've been in a while. That being said, when I did my side-by-side photos, the day I did my side-by-side photos, which was last week, I was 228.6. This is before I had my little come to Jesus moment and decided to get back into the weight loss phase of things. But when I did the side-by-side photos, I just realized I'm not really thrilled. Even with my lower body fat percentage, I'm not really thrilled with the look of my body. I think I really liked it more at the 2-year mark when it was at the 215 weight, or the 214 weight. That being said, I'm aware I put on muscle, so I think I'm going to try and get back down to the 220 mark and take some pictures and just see how that looks. Even if it means, as long as my body fat percentage remains relatively the same, I know I'll lose some muscle and I'll hopefully lose a little bit of fat. There's not much left to lose. But I think I just like the look of my body, particularly across the midsection, more. I did all my measurements as well. I'm including them. Some really great gains in the upper body, biceps, chest, all the places I would expect positive gains from working out the way I work out. But you know, and in my thighs, even my thighs and my calves have a little bit more, and then across my hips, which really goes more to my glutes. But also across the midsection has gone up too. So could be some core work, but I'm just looking at the pictures. I don't know. You know, it's like hard. I'm really struggling with that. So I'll throw it up here at the end of the video, all the measurements, and I'll also throw up the side-by-sides and the profile picture of all the years from 360 to you know, my goal weight, for year 1, year 2, year 3. They'll all be side by side. You guys can take a look at them. So that's that. So that's where we're at. So this time last year, I knew my wife and I were splitting up, but I didn't really want to share that at that point. I was in the middle of trying to move. We'd sold the house. I remember how stressful all that was. And as of Monday of last week, my divorce was finalized. So so definitely, I don't want to say it's not definitely not positive, but it's the end result of the path I chose. So and I think that for me it's a good thing. I think for her it's a good thing. You know, no hardship there between us, or you know, there's nothing negative. It was very mutual and very amicable divorce. No complaints. The courts were pretty flexible. I think they saw how well we were working together, and they even let us make some adjustments to our separation agreement that normally, you know, you would have to get, you know, some kind of like, you know, basically they have to agree to go outside the recommendations of the law, which they did, and so everything was fine. So everything's good there. But it was a sad day all the same. Just felt like a failure. You know, it felt like a failure point. Even though I wouldn't change where I'm at right now in my life and the things I've done, I wouldn't go back and undo all that to make that work, because it just wasn't a good fit. And the fact that we got back together a second time probably really, I don't want to get in too far into this. Really, kind of like the reasons we got back together kind of tell me that was the wrong reason to get back together. It's not that she's not an amazing person, not that I'm not a good person. It's just that we're not good together. I think somebody recently, very recently, just said we just didn't fit, and they could see it from the outside. So, but yeah. So anyway, so that's all done. Let's see what else. Yeah, so funny to be a year ago, I was, moving crap into storage and getting out of my old house, and here I am just kind of finalizing all the stuff on the new house. Not finalizing, but kind of like, got all the blinds up. I got all the, I'm starting to get things kind of decorated. I'm kind of getting things, just the final little touches put on. Still have some work in the garage to do, but all in all, that's good. Relationship's been really good. We spent the weekend with this Gastric Tiger was out, so he came down. So he came out camping last week, right when we were coming back from Boulder, from picking my son up from Boulder and coming back. So he was out here all week camping in Rocky Mountain National Park, and I'm sure he'll make a video about that. But then he came down Friday. I met him at my house. We got him all situated. Friday night we went out to a place here called Fuzzy's Tacos. I had been eating spot on all week because I knew we'd be going out and partying a little bit. We sat around, had some beeritas at Fuzzy's. We had a really good time. It was my son, Emmy, Scott, myself. We sat there for a long time, chatted. It was a very happy kind of night for me. My son doesn't normally join Emmy and I when we go out and do stuff very often, so it was kind of nice to have him there and to have Scott kind of be there. And they chit-chatted a bit, and then I chatted with Scott a bit, and then while Scott and I were letting our drinks wear off at the bar, Emmy ran Jake home, and then she picked us back up and took us back home. So we had a good time, and so we kind of all crashed out at my place on Saturday night, and then made our way back the next morning. Emmy got up. She had to take off to go help her mom with something. Scott, myself, and Jake ran up a Pikes Peak in the car, and we stopped up there, took some pictures, walked around a little bit, came back down. We kind of got a late start, but we got back around 4 o'clock, and then hung out at my place for a bit. Scott and I went back out that night to go to Emmy's mom's company's 40th anniversary party, of her t-shirt company. So we did that. We ended up going back to Emmy's house. We had a couple margaritas. We did some just hanging out and dancing around and having a good time. And we went to bed, and the next morning I ran Scott back to my place, and he was back off to home from there. So it was a good weekend. Got to spend a lot of time with people that I really like and had a good time with. And yeah, and all in all, I'd say, this weekend, I was just reflecting on the weekend, and I'm just like, God, I'm feeling really fortunate. I'm feeling really happy. I had a really positive set of experiences this weekend all the way around, and things just starting to settle in to where I kind of feel like content, and I'm letting myself kind of embrace that. I'm not going to say it's content all the time, and I'm whistling zippity doo dah out my backside, but I'm starting to accept that maybe this is how things are gonna stay. Maybe this is not just a silver moment in time, and it's all gonna be gone again. I'm starting to kind of trust it, and that comes with different situations in my life right now that I'm still learning and still growing, and things in my relationship. I'm still working on things in my career. I'm still trying to balance how to be a great dad in the new dynamic of the way the kid's mom and I are, and just how we support each other as parents, but not still be together as anything really more than that. And so it's just interesting. So yeah, I will say with year 3, and as of late, I've been a little concerned with my weight, feeling a little out of control. Not that I just feel out of control of my ability to lose again, and been struggling with that and stuff like that. So I think I got really militant last week and you can go look at my MyFitnessPal. It was very clean, very good eating. I even cut down my coffee. I cut down, all the little things, like how much creamer I was putting in my coffee, how much sugar I use versus using just using sugar in the raw. I substituted with some Splenda. I just cutting calories at every corner I can. Stop eating after a certain point at night. No more snacking on things I shouldn't be eating. In other words, I wasn't eating too many calories. It was just the types of calories I was taking in, I think was affecting me. So I'm going to keep that up for a month and a half, and see if I can't just cut back down to 220. See how I feel at 220, and kind of try and maintain that. So we'll see. I should know how that's going here pretty quick. But again, I'm gonna give it a month. I'm just gonna really set in and do it. So get back to that. So I am nervous. I mean, hey, look, I've talked to Chris Waffle and Jim Haney from a guy's perspective, and it you know, it gets harder as you get further out. Your body adjusts to you know, you being at this new weight and how you eat, and even if you're eating low calories, you know, your body kind of adjusts to that. In addition, I think just that the nature of being this far out is you do start eating things that you normally wouldn't. Things sneak back in, crackers here and there, a candy here or there, you know, a cookie here or there. Becomes like maybe a little more frequent. You don't realize it because you can get away with it when it's once in a while, but if it's like you're having a cracker every day, or you're having not a cracker but some crackers, you know what I'm saying, these things just sneak back in slowly, and you don't feel like you're eating high quantities like you did back in the day. But ultimately my body's still sensitive to carbohydrates. I know me. That doesn't mean that that's everybody, but for me it means I have to be super careful. I know Pete's got a very different type of metabolism. I mean, he's eating a ton of calories and trying to pack muscle back on, and he's struggling in a different way. So this is just my body. I can't compare that to anybody else's. So yeah, so that's kind of where I'm at. I am a little scared about years 3, 4, 5, 6, 10, 12. You know, I got to keep on top of it, and I'm getting older, so there's that too. And my injury to my shoulder is really, you know, it really hurt me in the gym for about a month, and even now my wrist is still a little sore. My arm's much better. I went to the chiropractor. Matter of fact, I'm going to be rolling out to the chiropractor here again in about 5 minutes. He kind of got me straightened up. I always thought it was voodoo. You know, no offense to any chiropractors out there, but one experience, and I was about 90% better within 2 days versus the 4 weeks I've been jacking around with, you know, other things. Massage helps obviously too. So I think I'm going to use both the chiropractor and the masseuse. You know, the chiropractor for the structural stuff, the masseuse for the soft tissue stuff. See if we can't get myself 100% healed here in the next month. Get this arm and shoulder back to where they are, and get it back to being my dominant strong arm. So, but yeah, right now my wrist hurts a little bit, my shoulder hurts a little bit, but I did go to the gym and I did get all of my exercises, weight exercises done today. So I'm feeling a lot better about that, and you know, I'll take some ice tonight and some anti-inflammatories tonight, which add a lot of water weight, which is the downside, but it makes me retain water, I should say. But yeah, so we'll just see. We'll just see what happens. So all right, guys, that's year 3. Enjoy the stuff at the end here, or you know, sorry for your eyeballs either way. But until next time, remember, it's good to be the king.